I'm Ter Strongman at Theron Kiramaturaka. Thank you for selecting this second in a series of videos on how to raise men, how to raise your appreciation for your mate, your female mate, or for women in general, above the level of lust alone. Before continuing, if you liked the video, then please give it a thumb up. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel now. Activate the notification feature by clicking on the bell, smashing the bell, as people like to say. Share the joy of the channel with others and comment if you like. Now, those things having been humbly requested, how to raise men, your appreciation for females, or your specific female mate, above the level of lust alone. In the first video, we talked about the distinction among recreational sex and procreational sex and their relationships with nature. And we also talked about the heart mood. And I referred you to my video specifically about what that is and how to act from it. Okay, let's continue. Let's go back to lust-rooted appreciation for females, for the woman in your life. All right, let's say you're a young man, young, dumb, and full of cum. My wife. Oh yeah, she's still laughing. Young, dumb, and full of cum, or young lust. Let's say you're experiencing young lust, and your appreciation for the girl in your life pretty much comes from looking at her and desiring her and getting a hold of her physical, sexual attributes. And especially in those early phases of lust with a mate, those physical attributes, all of them are taken to be sexual one way or another. Okay, how indeed? Well, let's just stick right with that. You can appreciate those the sexual and the offspring creative aspects of her, even just physically, the physical manifestations of those, with more than just lust. Now, yeah, these all may be grounded in lust, but where does, let's say, spinal energy, chakra energy root? I mean, it comes, its ground, its root is down there at the sexual chakras in men and women. And kind of like the one below it too, the root chakra, or the more anal chakra. All right, that's where the sexual energy, like in a thermometer, an upright thermometer that tells you, that has mercury in it. There's that. It's held in the ball down at the bottom. That's where it roots at, right? The mercury in the thermometer. There's the ball at the bottom, and then it's like balls, and then the penis sticking up. It rises up through the mercury. Okay, similarly or analogously, yeah, the sexual energy is downstairs. All right. Okay, so you can think of the woman and her sexual attributes, her womb, her menstruation, her reactions to those, her experience of those, the fact that she carries children, a child, a fetus, all of these things, her beauty, her physical beauty, which attracts you, which gets your hormones going, which invokes your lust or directs your lust toward her. Well, you can have higher dimensions. You can fill in higher dimensions of that appreciation no matter where it's rooted. No matter where the Mercury, where its home base is on the thermometer, on the lust thermometer, or on the appreciation thermometer. How about that? Look, I once talked to a prisoner who was rather hard-assed and apparently a bit heartless. We were talking about somebody who was locked up there who had sex with a child, a young one, and I played devil's advocate for a moment in the conversation. I mean, this guy was also talking about, the one I was talking to was also saying things like, hell, as a young man, I'd screw anything. So I played devil's advocate here, and I said, okay, but not all instances of adult sex with children is violent. It's not all abusive. A young female, for example, a female child, there's not some certain age at which suddenly sex is enjoyed and before that it was never going to be enjoyed by the child. There must be cases in which it's not carried out in a harmful way, but carried out in a joyful way. And he said, yeah, but there's a womb in there. Come on. With a young female, there's a womb in there. That's the thing. Show some respect for that. And I said, oh, okay. All right. That brings in a new notion here in our conversation. All right. That makes sense. The point here, my immediate point here is respect for a definitely female-only attribute regarding procreation of the species and her biological organism. With respect to that, wrapped right into it. There's a womb there. Just consider all the implications. That you can achieve a higher level of appreciation for her femininity, for her female attributes, for what it is to be female, above the level of lust alone, regardless of whether at the end of the day you can boil it down to, yet again, something else that has to do with your testosterone and the rest, and lust, feelings of lust. Okay, regardless of whether you can, trace this appreciation back to that, regardless. I mean, after all, just consider the spinal energy centers. The energy, no matter where it's at, or no matter how harmonized it is in that entire spectrum of chakras, its root is still the root. Okay. Right? So, Yeah, you can, as a young man, develop appreciation and adoration for your woman by deepening your sense, your perception of her femininity and what all that involves, and how that it is beautiful. If you see her as beautiful, well, there's another way into this. There's beauty at all these levels. And if you want to get away from self-absorption and lower vibrational states around that, then develop appreciation for the beautiful. That's the proper flux for self-absorption, or as some call it, Saturnic characteristics, or one's Saturnic aspects, self-absorption, and so forth. All right? The way to properly flux that is through appreciation of the beautiful. So look for the beautiful in the horny. Look for in the lust-generating aspects of your female partner. Look for the beautiful and appreciate the beautiful about it all. There is a way. That's another method that can be employed toward men grounding your appreciation and adoration for the woman in your life, or for women in general, in more than just lust. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumb up and all the rest of that. And stay tuned for perhaps more in this series. I don't have anything else in mind at the moment. But then I didn't either at the end of video 1, but here it is, number 2. You heard it right here on Tharan Q Ramacharaka. I'm Turk Strongman. Be well.